My name is Ayelet Lerner, and it is an honor to stand here with you today to welcome Shlomit, Gal, Amir, and Imbar as we gather to commemorate her grandparents, Perla and Salomon Krieser. This ceremony is not only about remembering those we lost, but also about honoring the strength and courage of those who survived. Shlomit's mother, Hannah, was born here in Antwerp, and the story of how she and her sister Hilda survived the war is nothing short of extraordinary. I believe this was a very special family marked by strength and courage, and I hope that Shlomit and her family will share some of this story with us today. This area we are standing in right now has been entirely rebuilt, but used to be a densely populated Jewish area with many Jewish homes, just like that one of Salomon and Perla. Willem and his team have already placed several stumbling stones in memory of Jewish families directly in this area and further down the street on the Immerseelstraat. Salomon and Perla will be the 266th and 267th stumbling stones placed in Antwerp today. There are many people to thank for making this moment possible, for helping us keep the memories of our families alive. I will try to keep it as brief as possible. The Stumbling Stone Project was founded by German artist Gunther Demnig. Part of his inspiration for the project came from a quote a rabbi had shared with him from the Talmud. A person is only forgotten when their name is no longer remembered. Just last year, the 100,000th stumbling stone was placed in Europe. 100,000 names remembered, people remembered. Here in Antwerp, the project is run by a small group of dedicated non-Jewish volunteers. Leading this group is Willem Kennis, who I would also like to acknowledge. Willem's great-uncle, Jan de Ridder, served in the local police during the war. He was one of the few who joined the resistance from within, even warning Jewish families of upcoming razzias and helping some escape. That kind of courage lives on today in the volunteers. Quiet, consistent acts of care and commitment which make a ceremony like today possible. Before we invite the family of Perla and Salomon to speak, I would like to say this. As a Jewish woman and as a descendant from a family deported from Antwerp, I am continuously moved by the commitment of our non-Jewish allies. It is through their tireless efforts that the memory of those we lost is not only preserved, but woven into the streets of Antwerp and into our collective history, and for that I am deeply grateful to them. I would now like to invite the family of Shlomit.
Wacht. Nog eerst Oscar.
Okay.
When they poured us across the border, I was cautioned to surrender. This I could not do. I took my gun and vanished. I've changed my name so often. I've lost my wife and children, but I have many friends. Some of them are with me. An old woman gave us shelter, kept us hidden in the garret, then the soldiers came. She died without a whisper. There were 3 of us this morning. I'm the only one this evening, but I must go on. Frontiers are my prison. Oh, the wind is blowing. Through the graves, the wind is blowing. Freedom soon will come. Then we'll come from the shadows. Les Allemands étaient chez moi. Ils me dirent résigne-toi, mais je n'ai pas peur. J'ai repris mon âme. J'ai changé 100 fois de nom. J'ai perdu femme et enfants, mais j'ai tant d'amis. J'ai la résistance entière. Un vieil homme dans un grenier, pour la nuit nous a cachés, les Allemands l'ont pris. Il est mort sans surprise. Oh, the wind is blowing. Through the graves, the wind is blowing. Freedom soon will come. Then we'll come from the shadows.
This is the biography of my great-grandmother, Perla Katz Krieser. Perla was born in Zborov in 1899 in Poland, today Ukraine. She had 2 brothers, 1 sister. She was married to Salomon, and together they left Poland and moved to Germany because of the anti-Semitism. They also had difficulty making a living there, so they moved to Antwerpen in Belgium in 1924. In Antwerpen, lived an uncle who worked in diamonds and suggested that my great-grandfather join him polishing diamonds. My grandmother was born in Antwerpen, and they live in a rented at 8 van Immerseelstraat. My great-grandmother, Perla, was a sewing expert. She worked at home with other women. She cut the fabric, and together they sewed a collection that my great-grandfather traveled with in suitcases and sell it. This is how they made a living. On May 10th, 1940, as the war reached Belgium, the family had to flee. They boarded a train that traveled for 10 consecutive days because no country agreed to take them in. After 10 days, arriving in Perpignan, and from there to another small village, they moved to a large city near Luchon. In Luchon, they gathered the Jews in the square and transferred them to the Rivesalz camp. My great-grandmother was in the camp until September of 1941. Then she was transferred by a train to Auschwitz on September of 1942.
Biography of my great-grandfather, Salomon Krieser. Salomon was born in Auschwitz in 1896. He had 4 brothers and 1 sister. He was a spiritual man, but was unable to pursue his dreams because of the restrictions at the time. His story is similar to his wife's. When they arrived at Rivesalz camp, he was separated from his family. He was sent to a labor camp and was promised that his family could join him. There he worked in the kitchen. When the time got worse, he fled but was caught. Salomon was recorded being on transport 24 from Drancy. Considering his age, it's assumed he was murdered upon arrival.
Some short stories about my great-grandparents from their daughter Hilda and Hannah. They were a pair of opposites who complemented each other. My grandmother, Perla, was a practical and energetic woman. She always made sure that nothing was lacking in the house. She cooked a variety of vitamin-rich tapas and was the main breadwinner in the house. Hannah was a terrible eater. Not to upset her mother, she would hide the leftover of her unfinished meal in the electric cabinet. Her father would find the leftovers when he went to set the Shabbat clock and throw them out without saying a word to his wife. Once, my great-grandmother saw a special light blue coat in a shop window, and sewed an identical coat for her daughter Hilda. A week later, she was approached on the street by an angry woman who had been assured in the store that this coat was a one-of-a-kind model, and how was that possible? Solomon was a man of culture and spirit. He was always ready to compromise. He was also a handyman who repaired things at home. During one of the family's vacation, he bought his wife a radio as a surprise. Perla had other priorities, but he enjoyed listening to classical music and explained to his daughters about the music. Perla was very careful to turn off the light at 8 p.m., but when she left for a lecture, the girls went back downstairs to have fun with their father. When she returned, they quickly went back to bed. Perla and Salomon were my great-grandparents who never met. I've never met. My mother's name is Shlomit, and my aunt's name is Plina, which means in Hebrew, which means Perla in Hebrew, in memories of our grandparents. It is very important for us that someone will remember that they once lived in Antwerpen and they had a whole life there until one day they were forced to leave and disappear without a trace. What did we inherit from Perla and Salomon? Perla and Salomon had 6 grandchildren and many great-grandchildren, some of whom dedicated time to spiritual matters like Salomon, while others are artistically gifted in sewing and handcrafts like Perla. They are all very much devoted to their families. They love their children and enjoy having fun with them. And now my mother would say the Hebrew Kaddish.
I want to thank everyone that took part of it and helped us in this project. It's very meaningful for me, not only because of my grandchildren, but also because of my grandchildren. And my grandchildren paint on the little stones that we bring. We want them to be a part of this project. So when they grow up, maybe they see it. יתגדל שם האדם, יתעלה פועל חייו ויתברך בזיכרוננו. על צרור מעלליו בימי חלדו, ועל המעש שלא הספיק להשלימו. על החלומות שנטבו ונמוגו, ועל סגולות יקר, ועל חולשות אנוש שנגוזו. יזהיר זכר האדם מבעד לדוק הערפילי של הזמן. כזוהר הרקיע ישמר את חייו בליבנו, ושמו לפני שמש ינון. כי מותר האדם הוא הזיכרון, לא בחושך שמו יכוסה. יש שלום גדול מן השמיים, חיים ושובע, וישועה ונחמה, מפלט ורפואה וגאולה וסליחה, וכפרה ורוח והצלה, לנו ולכל העולם, ואמרו אמן.
Kom en zing een vredeslied en leer het aan je vrienden. Kom en zing een vredeslied en breng de mensen bij elkaar. Ja, haat en nijd uit de wereld, open je hart voor iedereen. Sluit vriendschap voor het leven, strooi wat liefde om je heen. Ja, haat en nijd uit de wereld, open je hart voor iedereen. Sluit vriendschap voor het leven, strooi wat liefde om je heen. Vreugde het mooiste in ons leven, breng de wereld zonneschijn. Laat ons zingen,